That's a tasty garlic smoothie. We've put one small head of our own garlic into a bit of water and blended that in the Ninja to make a garlic mix. And this is our attempt to deter the rodents that have been digging in the greenhouse, making all these little tunnels under our beds and interfering with our plants. So Kat has already started putting some water in, just trying to flood the tunnels a bit to collapse them a bit. And then we'll mix some garlic water into the watering cans and sort of generally spread that around. We want it to get into the ground as best as possible, probably focusing around the plant roots a bit. Don't want to make it too strong, so I reckon that there should make quite a few watering cans. I think maybe eight watering cans out of that. Just get that scent of garlic through the soil in the hope that the sensitive rodent noses don't like it. We're not quite sure what the rodents are. They may be moles, or it may be some sort of vole. We definitely have voles around here, but they seem to sort of tunnel around just under the surface. But yeah, so Kat's cracking on with that. We're doing a bit of watering today. It's about 11 a.m. on on Sunday. Must be what, the 29th of June, I'm assuming. So yeah, I've just brought this fire pit down here that we've had stored up at the farm. So we've got a fire pit on site. We're hoping to have a barbecue down here with some family visiting from Australia on Tuesday. It's nowhere near the state I'd like it to be. We just haven't had time to make it into a finished product yet. Oh well, it would have been nice to have a front gate at least, but oh well. So we're just going to do a bit down here. We've got a lot more house tidying to do, so that's really got to be our focus. So this isn't a big trip this Sunday. Grabbing some wood chip for our neighbour from our wood chip supply. And, we may get some of the horse manure, well-rotted horse manure, sorted into this bed as well, ready for the beans. Maybe we'll get the beans in tomorrow. So yeah, I've got tomorrow off work as well as the next few days. So we'll get more sorting out tomorrow. Hopefully squeeze a little bit of allotment time in too. But the key focus is going to be sorting the house out. Okay, so we better crack on with that because time is ticking away. It shouldn't really amaze me how much the compost sinks as it digests. When we transferred these two bays into this end bay, this was full up to heaped at the top, and now it's 30 or 40 centimetres down the sides. But I've just been lugging some well-rotted horse manure to put on top here, and we're going to plant something into there. It was going to be pumpkins. I'm a bit worried now that's just pretty much nearly the start of July. It might be a bit early for the pumpkins. Sorry, that's the wrong word. I'm a bit bushed. It might be a bit late for the pumpkins, is what I meant to say. But then I'm wondering maybe we could put some gherkins or something in here, and the gherkins could sort of tumble down the sides. It's a thought. But yeah, that's gonna become a planting space, because this compost definitely needs to ferment for a while longer, and I think at the end of autumn it'll be good to be turned into the middle bay, at which point we can start using this for next set of fresh compost. Of course, our current fresh compost is this one over here, which itself is rotting down about as fast as we can put stuff in it. So we'll see how much we manage to fill that one up. But yeah, the whole rotting down thing's interesting. Actually, we'll go have a look at the front as well. So you may remember from a while back we got that massive pile of coniferous wood chip, and that's in these now. Well, that has been in these since we filled these up. You remember I made this special slotted pipe for aeration down the middle of one of them. But yeah, so these were full up to pretty much heaped over the top, and similarly have collapsed down a good 30 centimeters or so. So yeah, that's just one big cube, or two big cubes of coniferous leafy wood chip. Not quite sure what we're doing with it exactly. We're probably going to mostly use it as an amendment to the compost making, as our brown to go with all our greens. We're still working through this wood chip at the front here, but that'll get spread around as we continue the general landscaping of this plot. Right, I'm going to finish putting some roll-rotted horse manure into that back compost bay, and then the rest of that bag will be going into this bed here where we're going to plant the beans. Okay, that's the end of the first bag of well-rotted horse manure in the bean bed, as we're calling it. It's not a very thick layer, but I think it'll do for this year. We're going to have to be a bit conservative on our well-rotted horse manure usage, I reckon. I'm just sort of thinking about preparing to get this frame sorted out. Cat in the background there. Need to get some cross beams that are long enough. That one's not really long enough, so I'm going to have to see what I can find in storage. And then let me duck under the pear tree. Oh. And I've finished off what I was doing back here with that there. So still deciding what to plant in there. I'm going to look up to see whether it's definitely too late to plant the pumpkins or not. They're quite big seedlings, but they're nowhere near as big as our pumpkins in our Three Sisters bed have got. So they're definitely a slower start or a later start. So I have to decide what to do with that. The cucumbers definitely seem like a viable option, gherkins or something like that. So these pumpkins are growing pretty rapidly, starting to ramble across this bed nicely. Make a leap for freedom to the next plot maybe. And the tomatillos are doing pretty well. They're going to need more support. We find with the tomatillos, they send out long branches like that. Plant there has, and then the branches snap off, and they just sort of all snap off the middle there. So we need to work out how to support that. Maybe bring some strings down from this cane to the branches, or a taller cane even. That's probably an easy idea. Yeah, taller canes and some strings. Need some little caps to go on the tops of the canes with little string holes in it. It's probably something I can 3D print. But yes, it's I don't know, it must be approaching midday by now, so we need to get cracking. We were only supposed to be here till 11 really. We'll maybe be back later to do the polytunnel watering. I'm cautious at the moment about saying we'll be back later because so much depends on us getting so much other stuff done at home. That's the priority. So the key thing today is to get all the guest beds deployed out of storage. So yeah, got to go do that. So just as I was stringing up the wire as our temporary plot barrier, I noticed that where I pulled that bag of manure aside, there's this tunnel that's gone right under the bag. Look at that. And then down deep into the ground down there. What makes a tunnel like that? That's the question. You can see it runs either side as well. That's yeah. I suspect that's at least one of the things we've got running around the plots, doing all of the damage to things. It's Monday the 30th of June, and it's supposed to be a real scorcher today. Another contender for the hottest day of the year, they reckon. Something over 30, but we'll see. It's definitely pretty, it's 1 PM right now, and it's pretty intense. We're about to head home. We've just been down briefly. Cat's been down since this morning watering, while I went and picked up a hire car for the family. But yeah, so I've got down here and done a couple of things as well. But Cat's definitely had enough time in the sun, I reckon. The polytunnel is a steamy something, I can't remember what I saw. It's about 40. It's about 40 in both the polytunnel and the greenhouse right now, on the thermometers we have in there. Just been looking at this quince here that we're staring at, and there's so much fruit on this. It'll be interesting to see how much of that lasts. Look at it all. Look at all that fruit. So many quinces. If we get harvest like that, I won't know what to do with it all. I like making my quince jelly, but that's a bit ridiculous. Meanwhile, I've been thinning out the ume, these two trees here, and we have some fruit left on them, but I don't know, some of that vanished, and it may have been to animals perhaps. I don't see them lying on the ground, but we have a few there. If you look right in the well, I've lost it now. Yeah, right in the center of the screen there's one there, and if we go up this branch there's a couple more. They're in the shade, of course, so they're hard to make out, but there's one right at the centre of the screen again. They're still very hard though, so probably not ready yet. There's a few things we can do with them. One of them is to actually make umeboshi by salting them with some reddish perilla leaves. We don't have any red perilla, we've just got red and green bicolour. But yeah, cat's been watering, so everything's happy. Yeah, so heading home. We may have time later today to come and plant some beans in this bed, but I don't know. We've still got a fair bit to do at home to get things ready. So that's what we're going to do. Go and take some refuge from this beautiful day, I guess. It's nice out here though. If I could just sit down doing nothing in this, I'd be quite happy, but pottering around, I'm absolutely dripping. Okay, anyway, it's home time. Well, it is 7:45 on the 1st of July, Tuesday. My family are with us at the moment, my mum and my sister and her 2 kids and husband. But we have managed to squeeze in a little allotment trip at the end of the day between the Cambridge explorations today and some punting. And the barbecue we'll have hopefully soon, because otherwise we'll lose the light. But we've used the trip to keep the kids entertained. We've planted the bean seedlings. So we've got the princess, some white and some red runner beans, and down the end of the fat baby achochas. We have been generally looking around and checking things out, of course, and these zucchinis are powering along, and we have our first green zucchini harvest. There's some golden ones down there you may have seen, but they're a little yet. I mean, they're perfectly edible size. We like them a little bigger than that though. The kids have been happily picking some field beans and the berries, and they've been eating half the berries, so which is good because we've still got kilos in the fridge from last year. Freezer, kilos in the freezer. But yeah, so that's what we've been up to. A little bit of planting, and as I mentioned in a previous video, we have put some national pickling variety gherkins at the front of the compost bay. So hopefully they'll grow strong and drape everywhere with some gherkins. And there's a Burgess buttercup and a Burgess butternut and a Burgess buttercup. No, a Waltham butternut and a Burgess buttercup at the back there, with the idea they can hopefully roam around. All this wood will be coming off soon, hopefully. This may not be the best film because it's on my less good phone / camera, because I forgot my good one and left it at home, of course. But yeah, they've been fascinated. They like growing things as well. We grew up growing things, and my mum's got all sorts growing back at home in Bustleton in Western Australia, and my sister and her family in Perth. And I'm just popping in these Daphne H gherkins in the raised bed down the front here. That's what we're up to in this beautiful sunshine. Look at that. Anyway, I better crack on. The family are running down the allotment there, hanging out. But, I shall continue with my gherkin planting.